Hello yogis, so lovely to be here with you all today, and we are talking about stepping forward today in this demystifying video. So we're going to go through a few different reasons why stepping forward can be challenging, and let me just tell you right now, it can be challenging for people who have just started yoga, it can be challenging for people who have been practicing for a little while, and it can be challenging for even the most advanced yogis. And I use advanced in inverted commas. And there's a few reasons for that, and we'll go through that. If you're not sure about what stepping forward is, let me just give you a demonstration. We usually start the movement from downward facing dog. And so from our downward facing dog, we usually take one leg up towards the sky first, draw the knee into the chest and place the foot in between the hands. And then from there we continue moving on with our flow wherever it might be going. And so, yeah, there's a few reasons why this movement might be challenging for you. And one thing is hip mobility. And when we talk about mobility, there's the flexibility or the range of motion that is within your hip, and some flexibility we can change, and some is like ingrained in us. We're at our maximum and there's nowhere more that we can actually change, and that's just our body. That's completely fine. We work within that. And then there's strength. So the ability to draw the knee in towards the belly, to dome the upper back to create space, to be able to place the foot in between the hands. That is something we can definitely work on. However, some people have that strength and they still find it hard to step in between the hands. Could be flexibility. The other thing is the shape of our bones. So I'm going to demonstrate on me. I'm just one person. My bone lengths, my bone shapes are just of one dimension. Every single person in this world has slight differences in their body, just like our fingerprints. Every single person is different. So there's not going to be a one size fits all, but there's going to be what works for you and what feels good for you in your body. So, bone length, let me show you on my body. So if I bring one foot forward and I place the hands flat on the ground, and you can see here that there's not very much space between my knee and my armpit. Actually, my knee is quite up into my armpit while my hands are flat on the ground. So even if I press into the hands and dome my upper back, yeah, I can feel a slight shift of my body away, but I'm still very much in contact with my thigh. We'll look at the other leg. So, right leg's forward, hands are on the ground, and then here I press into the hands. Yeah, here I am. There's not a lot of space in between my armpit and my thigh. And so you can see my arm length is pretty much similar to my shin length. There are people in this world, you might be one of them, where your arms are longer than your shin length, and so there's actually space between your knee and your armpit. And then there are people who have, even with their hands as drawing far down as they can, that they can't bring their hands completely flat onto the ground because their arms are shorter than their shin. That's just comparing one bone to another. There's another bone we can look at, and that is the quad length. So when I place my hands down, my knee comes right through my armpit. Have a look at yours. It might be that your arm is much more forward of your armpit, yeah? Or it might be that you're all the way back here, and all of this affects your ability to step through. So if your arm length is shorter than your shin length, you may need to be using your blocks to create longer arms, essentially. And then even here, I'll come forward, you can see I've created a little bit of space in between my armpit and my thigh. So this is going to help create ease for stepping forward. The other thing is that if my knee is not as long as my torso, then for me to step forward, I'm going to be stepping forward further back than what my hands are. That's just my body, and that's completely fine. If you're trying to get it all the way in between the hands, then your distance between your feet, your back foot and your front foot, might be too long. So they're just a few little things that might be affecting your ability to step in between the hands. Let's talk about cheating. Because there are people out there who think that using blocks or doing different things is cheating when you're trying to step through. In my opinion, it's not cheating to use blocks, and it's also not cheating to lift your hands onto your tippy fingers, this kind of cupcake position, to create a little bit more space. So for me, we've just discovered that there's not very much space between my armpit and my thigh when I have the foot all the way forward. So when I step forward, I will lift up onto my tippy fingers of that same hand to step forward. I do keep my hand grounded so that I am still working with strength. The other thing is that sometimes people swing their leg out to step through. And so what this might look like is a little bit more like bringing it out and around. And this might be because they've compensated for bone length, strength, mobility, whatever it is, they're compensating by taking the leg out to the side. They're moving around that point of compression and stepping forward. Whilst I don't think, again, this is cheating, there's multiple ways that you can practice. And if you are looking at building that compression strength, that drawing of the knees into the hands, then maybe we can start to address why it is that you want to take the leg out to the side and look at how we can maybe lengthen the arms or build the strength of the abdomen to be able to step straight in between the hands. Also, that continuous taking the leg out to the side might cause dysfunction as well, especially if one leg's doing it, the other leg's not. So, have a feel into your body, see what works for you, and join me for the practice video as we go through opening the hips, working on strength and mobility to improve our step forward. Look forward to seeing you there.